Tell me when you're ready.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Alright, you see on the frontiers and ladies and gentlemen, let's check the time now. It's exactly 20 minutes, exactly 21 minutes to the hour 3 right here on ImpulsRadio Africa. This is the frontiers kicking start the beautiful concept. I want to call it a concept, not how to call it?
Not a video.
No, not man. Coming through from our certificator. This one is called a Seri. Wow, beautiful.
Yes.
Why?
You know what? So this song Siri by Salif Keita, I want to quote when he was asked about this song and this beautiful video, because I mean the imagery, you can see it is just so powerful. You've got these images of these women holding, look at that, the women crying and the children as there's this flames, everything is just going up in flames, and this mother is just holding her child and crying. And his answer was, I wanted to talk about war from all over the world, because who is suffering in all of this? Women and their children. Yeah. Every time there is a war, we see women, hands in children's hands, looking for shelter. You can't watch this without being touched. So he's actually talking about all the wars in the world in this song. It's a very powerful anti-war song.
See that there's a war in Africa. Like Africa's in war. Like look at Nigeria. Look at everywhere.
It's
so the song is very relevant.
And just to give you that reminder that, guys, when we are in a state like this, the people that hurt the most are the women and the children, because ultimately the backlash falls on them.
But then I think you're being a feminist.
No, not necessarily. So the way I put it, for example, if we look at, and I'm going to talk about this a bit later, but if we talk about what happened what's happening in Nigeria at the moment, for example, one of the people that were confirmed dead in one of these riots was actually an innocent bystander, right? And the articles that I was reading, on CNN, they interviewed his mother, and for me, I think, I'm not saying that it's only the women and children that suffer, but I'm saying it's a perspective that we tend to overlook. Because you don't often see, the women and children in the front lines rioting, in the front lines thing. Do you see what I'm saying? But even though they may not be up front there, like right in it, but even just minding your own business on the side of the road, here's a woman's child.
They cannot fight for themselves.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Here's this poor child who got gunned down, and he wasn't even part of the protests. And here's this mother who now has to bury her son, and she was off at work somewhere, or she was, do you get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, the far reaches of these things are further than we think, I think is what I'm trying to say.
I think something applied in South Africa about a month ago in Eldoret Park. Yeah. There was a struggle, there was a riot, and then a 14-year-old boy was shot dead. Yeah. You understand? So I think it can, how to say that.
Yeah, definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, this one is called Sari, coming through from our certificator, right here on our conversations with Mathabo and the Frontiers. I go by the name Ash Africa. Checking the time now, it's exactly 17 minutes to the hour.
Yes.
3. Let's go.
Okay, so as always, we start off the show with a new feature. So this is Salif Keita's most recent release. And this is actually off of his most recent and final album.
Final
album.
No, not now.
I know. I mean, he's 70, so the guy's been in the game for a very long time. I mean, he's a legend. What more can we ask from him, though, guys? Let him retire in peace.
Just one more. Just one more.
Well, I mean, look, he's got an album. The album, I haven't listened to it, but I listened to a couple of songs in it. He has a lot of features on it. Angelique Kidjo, Ladies Back Mathabo on there as well. Yeah, so I think it's a very interesting one, especially even from a collaboration space. But I also wanted to talk about, while we're talking about Salif Keita, because we actually touched on him last week, and I was like, no,
I love the song called Africa.
Yes,
Africa.
I remember we played that last week, right? Africa, yes. So, for those of you who do not know, and shame on you if you do not, Salif Keita is a world-renowned musician from Mali, and he has been nominated at the Grammys 3 times for Best World Music Album and once for Best Contemporary World Music Album. He has been cited as one of the greatest talents that Africa has ever produced. Mm-hmm. He's the descendant of warrior princes, the son of 2 black African parents. Afro-pop pioneer Salif Keita was born white, in inverted commas, inheriting albinism. And Keita instantly obviously stood out from other Africans because it was, hey, okay, you look different, you know, what's going on?
Yeah,
what's
yeah, what is happening? Yeah.
And obviously, you know, in some cultures, the immediate thing when there's something different about your child is to go, yes, it's witchcraft, or oh my gosh, it's a curse, or it's the devil, or whatever it may be. So I mean, he was obviously ostracized a lot. He was shunned, he was ridiculed, and I mean, sometimes because there's this horrible practice where people seem to believe that. Certain parts of albinos, if you kill them and you use certain parts in ritual practices, all this ridiculous insanity. But, so basically through his fame as an international icon, Salif Keita has raised awareness about the plight of albinos in Africa around the world to millions of people with the help of campaigns, albums, interviews, books, social media, and mainstream media. He also has the Salif Keita Foundation and is the leading organization in raising global awareness for the cause of albinism in Africa.
Yeah, man, that is a Salif Keita right there. He deserves this.
Yes. Yes, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much for flying the flag of Africa, Salif Keita.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, continue the story. What else?
All right, so I want us to move on to food for thought because we already touched on it earlier, and this is where we get a little bit serious. And then obviously we'll end off with the songs. That's something that will just kind of bring hope. Because this topic makes me like, I don't know. Like I feel sad. I feel angry. I'm frustrated. I don't know. Like I just feel so many.
We have like
so
mixed
many
emotions
things at once. With all of this. And so here's the thing. So I saw this article on CNN. And as usual, I will post the link on my social media at Mathabo_music on Instagram and Facebook, and at Mathabo music __ on Twitter, and that's Mathabo with 1 M. And so essentially the article spoke about the fact that this article was talking really about what's happening at the moment in Nigeria, and sort of this whole #EndSARS movement. And why I say I was sad and I was angry was just looking at all these things that that are happening and all the senseless killings and things like that. So I thought, okay, I really want to talk about this today because it's important that we talk about it. Whoever's not talking about this, you need to start talking about it, because Definitely. I think the more we keep spreading the word, I think it's just as important as Black Lives Matter, at this point.
I mean, this is the frontiers.
Exactly.
So
right?
Do you know what the frontiers mean? Do you? You know what?
Yes, I do. The frontiers, it's the leaders, it's the head of the game, it's the ones that send the message forward.
Okay,
really.
let me explain to you what the frontiers means.
Yes.
The frontiers basically mean the border game.
Yes.
So we are the frontiers, we are the borders of the entire Africa.
Yes.
We mean, when we say we are in tune with Africa, we are the frontiers, we are the opening gates for everyone to be united.
Yes. And we need that right now.
Definitely.
More than
that is why you are here.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
We need another pause for that one. We need another pause. Yes.
Definitely.
Okay, so we always try to be objective here on Impulse Radio. So what I want to do is, as usual, I'm going to look at this from 2 different sides because we need to be objective, right? So I'm going to go on the one side, right? I took a little piece of what they call the police declaration that police officers in Nigeria take under sworn oath, right? Hand on Bible, upon appointment to their position. So I'm just going to read it quickly. I solemnly, sincerely, and truthfully affirm and declare that I will bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will truly and faithfully obey all lawful commands of the government of the Federation, as by law established, and of any officer set over me, while I'm serving in the office of police officer. Now here comes the part that's the most interesting. And that I will use my best endeavors for the preservation of peace and the apprehension of an offender against the peace. And that I will, in all respects, to the best of my skill and knowledge, discharge all duties of said office according to law. Now, I want to dissect that last sentence because I think if I'm gonna play a proper devil's advocate, I'm gonna try and excuse some of the behavior. So I'm gonna say, if we look at in this thing, it says I will use my best endeavors. That means the best means that I have available at the time. So a police officer has been told that one of my duties is that I must use the best means that I have available to me at the time for the preservation of peace, which means I must use whatever that is available to me at the moment to subdue any actions and activities which may incite violence, destruction of property, intimidation of others, and so on and so on, which is often associated with a lot of these riots and protests. You get a lot of intimidation of people, you get a lot of destruction of property, you get a lot of violence and unrest, right? So again, here you've got a police officer who's taken a sworn duty that whenever there is something that may incite violence, that may incite destruction of property, that may cause, intimidation of others or whatever the case may be, they are entitled, they have a duty to act on that in whichever way that they have available to them at the time, and there's in all respects to the best of my skill and knowledge, which means based on their level, the level and skill and knowledge of that particular officer at the time, he must use his level of skill and knowledge to judge and make a decision on what the best action is to do in that particular situation. So, on one side, guys, we can say, okay, fine, these acts are wrong, right? There's nobody that should have been harmed, there's nobody that should be, hurt in these riots, because, at the end of the day, people are just speaking out, right? But at the same time, police have a sworn duty to protect every other individual, just like that innocent bystander who, if they weren't protesters in the first place, might actually be alive right now, right? It really is their job to say, okay, you know what, this thing that's going on right now is going to lead to something really chaotic. So me as a police officer, according to my level of skill and knowledge, I think the best thing to do is to start firing water cannons. Right?
Yes.
To disperse it, because you just want to stop this thing from escalating, right? So I'm saying that on the one side you can, and then after that you can say, okay, you know what? Yes, they made the wrong choice. They could have, they could have used a different means, but they were doing it to the best of their skill and knowledge, right? And that's what they swore to do, right? You could also even say, so the Inspector General of the Police said that now going forward, so obviously SARS has been disbanded, and the new force, which is going to be called SWAT, how original. Okay, SWAT. And then any people who were part of the former SARS will undergo a psychological evaluation and everything like that. And I think that's a good move, right? That's a good move. Yeah. Now let's go to the other side, guys. The one that makes me very angry. So, firstly, this SARS unit has been. This is not the first time.
Just chill.
Yes.
Just chill.
Yes.
Chill. Don't get too angry. Are you cool?
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Right.
Number one. This SARS unit, it's not the first time it's been disbanded. It's not the second time, it's not the third time. It's been about 4 times that this thing has been disbanded due to similar issues of police brutality, extortion, and sexual assault. So if you're telling me you're banning them now, what's different to the other 4 times? That's what's going to change this time, right? It almost feels like the Nigerian government puts a plaster on it and kisses it better, and then when you feel like it's a little bit better, then they just kind of leave it, Secondly, the lawyer of... the innocent bystander that died, who was apparently killed by stray bullets fired by the Nigerian police. The lawyer actually came out to say to the news that the protest was largely peaceful until the police fired that shot, the shot that actually killed the innocent bystander, and they actually say that they've got evidence to prove all this police brutality. They're saying that, there's also 3 other persons that were killed on that same day. They have several others that are injured, but this is apparently not being shown. And they apparently have this evidence. And I'm thinking to myself, nobody goes on international, CNN, and say, I have evidence, ask me, I'll show you, if they don't have anything, right? And so I think at this point, I just kind of want to say, this is just in the same way that we were shocked and horrified, and in the same way that we all came together, everyone changed their profiles to black and white, hashtag BLM, hashtag Black Lives Matter. I want to see more hashtag police brutality in Nigeria must stop. I want to see hashtag end SARS for good this time. Hashtag listen to the voices of the people. I think, and like I said earlier, I feel like there's a lot of us that feel like there's nothing that we can really do to help things that are going on in Africa at the moment. But even just a simple change in mindset, and even just an awareness, and even just saying it to another person, who would say, hey, are you aware this is what's going on? Spread your voice, say something, because at least 2 other people hear. And then they speak to other people, and that's actually even the purpose of conversations with Mathabo right now, is because we fully fundamentally believe that the more we have dialogue about these things, the more we speak about them, the more we don't hide them, the more we call them out.
Yes.
And it's not just in Nigeria where there's police brutality, there's police brutality everywhere, right? Yes. So guys, my food for thought in summary is, look, when one of us cries, we all cry. Let us as Africans support the Nigerian protests in any way we can. Be it small or big, any action is a step closer to change. I spoke in our first week about that hashtag Nigerians must go, which I really was just not happy about. But look at what we're now. If you go back to that hashtag Nigerians must go, then let's go back to that. This is what we're saying. We're saying, hey guys, sorry, we don't want you here. How about you go and get killed?
Just from ban.
I mean, really, guys. So we need to pay attention to what's happening to our brothers and sisters in our neighboring countries. Instead of hashtag Nigerians must go, I want hashtag end SARS, hashtag free Nigeria, hashtag listen to the people of Nigeria.
Hashtag Africa for one.
Hashtag unite Africa.
Yeah!
Yes. So can I ask for a song?
Yes.
What? And then I'm done with food for thought. This one, so there's been a lot of songs. I mean, a lot of artists and musicians have come out to speak about this particular situation in Nigeria. But Nigerian artist Burna Boy, I want you to play Monsters You Made. It's also a lovely video if you want to go and have a look at it on YouTube. It's Burna Boy featuring Chris Martin from Coldplay. And it's called Monsters You Made. And I think it was, for me, probably the most, I don't know, just heart-wrenching, song to just almost have a somber moment. It's almost like a moment of silence that I think we need to have for everyone that is caught up in all of this madness that's going on at the moment.
Okay, Monsters You Made featuring Chris Martin from a Coldplay, coming through from a Burna Boy. Ladies and gentlemen.
Calling me a monster, calling us fake. No way, no way, no way.
And then with that Chris Martin powerful voice, it just gives it that. I wanted to cry
What we create barricades, keep our position away. That's why we're strapped with the case. Don't get kidnapped from your place. As it could happen today, not knowing how to behave. That is the sign that you made. Just lose your life with the waste. Your body found in the lake. You fucked around in the fisherman found you drowning for days. You know we come from a place where people smile but it's fake. How can they smile if you look around and surrounded by pain? I seen the snakes in the grave. It took the life from the day. It's like the heads of the state ain't comprehending the hate that they oppress generate when they've been working like slaves to get some minimum wage. You turn around and you blame them for their anger and rage.
They're going through senseless killings. They're going through, and then you get surprised why people are rioting. Come on. Yes.
Calling me a monster just 'cause we said no way, no way, no way. Calling me a monster, make no mistake. But there's only so much that you can take.
I feel like I need the way to practice connection. The way the hand connection. I think I need Christmas in there. I don't know why.
He's one of the most loudest voices in the game.
I feel like I need it to this song.
Right.
I think I need it to this song.
Like remix.
Yes, exactly.
I can hear him. I wish we had these people on speed dial and then call him and be like, hey, hey,
Listen, I just saw this song. This is you understand?
You're fucking lucky if you live through the day. Better pray that God always stay with you. Ain't fucking safe any day. The reaper be coming with you. We need a change and it ain't no way I'ma take an excuse. Small niggas fine.
Hey. I told you what it does to your heart, right?
It's a monster on its own. This song is a monster.
This song is a monster
It's
that
a
was
monster.
made.
It's a monster
that was made.
Alright.
Burna Boy and Chris Martin.
Okay, from the 14th of August 2020, it has got 1.3 million viewers on YouTube.
Hey man.
Monsters
And
you
I
made.
think honestly, you know, even that is good. That's 1.3 million people who are supporting what the song is saying, because if you really listen to it, it's really talking about the fact that yes, right now you're saying we're out of hand because there's riots and
You're the ones who
but
made us
you made us
monsters.
this, because now we have to go to
Exactly.
the point where
Man.
saying enough is enough.
We are like this because of
Exactly.
you.
You know, it's like when you try to talk to someone in a nice way and then they just won't listen. Eventually, you start yelling and screaming like a crazy person because you're just like, just listen to me.
Yes.
You know?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Whew.
You.
Yes.
I think. I just think.
Dot, 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 dot.
Yes.
No, that is
Okay,
that is one of those songs that just takes everything away. Yeah.
All right.
So, moving into the last segment of the show.
Some goodies.
Yes, so this is called Remember That Time When. And this is always where we play a song that reminds someone of a time in their past. This week, I actually asked a fellow musician, someone that I've worked with on Take Me Away Unplugged, and Take Me Away Live, which will be coming 2021 on my debut album, Cosmopolitan. Wonderful, wonderful musician, just truly talented person. This is Junior SA, and he dropped us a little voice note just to tell us about which song
All right,
reminds
let's
him.
just listen to the Junior SA right there. All right, that was Junior SA right there.
Yes.
Okay, all right. He wants a song coming through from Heavy K, Umoya, right?
Yes.
Umoya, let's check. Shout out to him and Junior SA.
Junior SA, yes.
Ah, man.
Yes.
The guy has been doing.
You know, honestly, just and that's why I say, you know, what people don't realize about Junior SA is that, you know, apart from him just being a DJ, right? You would hear all of his house music and you think, okay, that's all that he does. No, that's not all that he does. I mean, he you know, manages choirs, he directs choirs. He's just an overall musician. He is the best pianist I have met.
I've known the guy for years. I didn't know that he leads choirs.
Dude, you don't understand the talent. He's just so musical. He's just so musical.
But no. Uchino is Rob.
And him and Keys.
No. Yes, Rob. Uchino is from Northwest. He's not from Pretoria, man. He's not from Pretoria. Hi, let's play Umoya. Ladies and gentlemen, this one's coming through from Heavy K, featuring Professor and Umpo. This one's called Umoya.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, remember that time when I was struggling. I remember the time when me and Gino were struggling, trying to make shows throughout South Africa and outside of South Africa. So this song serves it well for me and him. Shout out to you, boy.
Yeah. No, I just realized that this song. That's what this is.
It's gonna be good to boy. Hey!
Yes. Hey! Yes! Now they know what I'm behind the scenes. Yes! Yes!
Ali!
Yes! Yes! All right! Yes! show here.
I'm
It's
here.
a vibe.
I'm getting it.
Daizee. Hey.
I'm getting it. Should I?
Hey.
You know these sellouts.
Hey.
You know these sellouts. When they come through when things are nice. These sellouts, they come through when things are nice. This has been dancing to Umoya.
You know.
We
She's
are
a
the
sellout. But she's a
warriors.
sellout.
It's fire up in here. I know you couldn't not. You
Yeah.
couldn't not.
Nah.
You couldn't resist.
Let's
Like when
close
this
it
song
out.
goes on, you can't resist. Like,
Never.
oh
Who are
my
you?
gosh.
Come on, Mutrubani wena.
Hey, it is Friday, guys. Now. Hey. 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 Hey.
Wow. Shout out to you, man. Gina SA, man. This is beautiful, man.
So
This is
Junior
beautiful.
also recently released a track, but I think maybe we can go out with it.
Yes.
Because that is all I have for you this week on Conversations with Mathabo.
Yeah, man.
Yes, and it is week 3 done.
Yeah. No, Sebenzi.
Yes.
Sebenzi. This one is coming through over from Junior SA featuring Zayo. This one is called Hamba. We are humbing.
Hamba.
We are humbing.
We are
right now.
humbing. We are humbing.
No, we are humbing.
Goodbye, we are humbing.
Yeah, no. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm done.
Drops
Yeah,
mic.
Alright, catch me out on socials at @ashafrica_DJ, Twitter, Instagram, on Facebook, Ash Africa. Otherwise, ImpulsRadio_RA on Twitter, on Instagram, ImpulsRadio Africa, on Facebook, ImpulsRadio Africa. Mathabo.
Yes, it is at Mathabo_music on Instagram and Facebook, and at Mathabo music, no underscore on Twitter. That's Mathabo with 1M and not 2.
Yes, otherwise you can catch Daizee at Daizee D on Instagram, on Facebook with Import Daizee Chalate. Let's go.
Yes. That's actually him. Oh, is it this? Oh, okay. I was like, what's going on?
I've got all these,
What's going on? This is how you know that I don't know what is going on here. I'm just like, so I'm looking at that video, I'm like, wait,
Like,
that's
what?
not Junior.
No.
Oh, and it's a wrap. Yes.
Yay!
We got this.
Yes.
We still got this.
Yes.
I feel so nice.
Woo!